Released in 2015 by Polish developer Techland, Dying Light is a zombie survival parkour game, and it's really fun to just run around from rooftop to rooftop, just climb anything. It is so fun. And you do actually get rewarded for just running around from rooftop to rooftop, doing parkour things. So there are 4 skill trees: agility, combat, survival, and legend. So your agility skill tree is pretty straightforward. All you gotta do is do anything parkour related and you will get XP. You can use this XP to purchase skill points, which can help you just climb faster and grant you some new abilities such as dropkicking. Combat XP is also pretty straightforward. All you need to do is just hit zombies, hit enemies, hit people, and you'll get XP. And this can also just help you survive, grant you new abilities, and it can give you more stamina. Yes, stamina. This game has stamina, so from the start you're really limited from what you can do, because your stamina is so low and you can't really fight for that long. You can't really parkour for that long. So you really just gotta be careful and stay on rooftops, because you can basically do nothing. So zombies in this game, they are tough as nails, especially in the beginning. You will get discouraged, you will get fucking angry, and it is just annoying when you see a zombie and you want to kill him. You gotta hit him like 40 times for him to fucking finally die. But towards the mid to end game, it does get a bit easier. It doesn't take as many hits to kill a zombie, so it's There are a lot of zombie types in this game, like a lot. So there's of course your regular zombies, the slow type, just walks around, nothing special, tries to bite you, very slow, very dumb, boring. Then there are these viral zombies, which just turned, so they're still pretty fast. They can parkour, they can climb down top of buildings, and they are very dangerous. Then there are these big ass mutated zombies. They're really big, really strong, but they're usually very slow. So all you really gotta do is keep agile, try not to get hit. They do wield a big ass sort of sledgehammer, I guess, and it does do a lot of damage. It'll knock you on your fucking ass so fast, so you really gotta be careful around them. Then there are these, I guess, frog type zombies, which just spit some green acid at you, whatever you want to call it, green acid, green shit. And it does do a lot of damage, but they're usually not that hard to avoid since they don't really do melee attacks. Then there are these bloated zombies, which can explode and they will make a lot of noise, which will attract other infected. Then there are these big demolishers, which you encounter towards the late game. They can throw rocks at you, they can knock you off, and they are very hard to kill. Because they have armor around them, and that armor you need to destroy it for you to be able to do anything about them. And finally, there are the volatiles. Now these zombies are fucking scary, man, I tell you. So they only come out at night, which is a good thing. Thank fuck they only come out at night. But when they do, there are a lot of them. And if you get spotted by one, you better start running, because they're very fast. They do a lot of damage, but they do have a few weaknesses. So one of their biggest weakness is UV light. Well, I guess it's their really only weakness is UV light. So if you say shine a UV flashlight on them or lead them into a trap, they will stop running, they will stop chasing you, and they will just take damage. And to help you, there are a lot of weapons in this game. So there are a lot of melee weapons and a lot of ranged weapons. All of these weapons you can upgrade, I believe. So melee weapons you can basically find anywhere. You can buy them, you can scavenge them, and you can pick them off dead zombies. And these melee weapons, they can be upgraded as well. Usually they're not that great at the beginning, but they can get better towards the end. And these weapons, these melee weapons, have durability. So each time you hit something, hit anything, you will lose durability on it. And when that reaches 0, you can repair your weapon, but you need metal parts for it, and you can only repair your weapon 3 times. And then there are ranged weapons, which range from pistols, assault rifles, bows, crossbows. The bows and crossbows, I believe you need a DLC for them, but they're not that essential. So you can get a pistol like really early in the game, and it's so OP. I think you can just headshot enemies and they will die instantly. Same with the assault rifle. I believe you can get one really early in the game, and it just kind of breaks the balance. Like, all you're gonna really end up using is the assault rifle. But they do make noise, so I guess that's sort of a deterrent from using it too much. And you also do need ammo, of course. Then there are the bows, which can only be bought, I believe, from vendors. They're not that expensive. They don't make noise, of course. You can buy arrows from them, but they're not that great at doing damage. They don't really do a lot of damage. So one of the things that I really hated in this game were Rise's thugs. So they're basically these, human enemies which you'll encounter throughout the game, and they are just so fucking annoying. I swear to God, you really need like a ranged weapon like a bow or a pistol or assault rifle, because when you hit them with a melee weapon, they'll probably just end up blocking your attack, dodging your attack, and they're just gonna hit you back harder. So they are extremely fucking annoying to deal with, especially in the beginning. And the game does look nice, but sometimes I did get huge FPS drops. I don't know if it's just the game being weird or if it's just my computer, but I did get those. And another thing, if you have the subtitles on, you will probably notice that the subtitles are pretty fucking weird sometimes. So sometimes the subtitles can just, be missing words. They can change words from what's actually being said. They can add new words, and it can just get pretty weird sometimes. But I didn't really find myself being too bothered about it. So the story in this game, it's okay. It's not the best. Far from it, to be honest. It's not really that great. Only some people have personalities, such as Jade, Brick, Zara, Camden, and Raheem. Raheem was actually my favorite, and some of the quartermasters also have a personality. Well, one actually. His name is Spike. I also really liked Spike. He was a cool dude. But what about the villain? Is the main villain of the game any good? Is he alright? He's again, he's okay. He's not gonna be your next boss. He is not the best villain, far from it. He's very bland. He's nothing special. He just hates you because he's made to hate you. You haven't really done anything in the beginning to him. He just hates you from the start for no reason. And he's your generic bad guy. He always talks about you not being a man. He's talking about what makes a true man and shit like that.
It's really different from your exploits on the antennas. It will require a bit more persuasion. The imposing of one's will, the creation of one's own rules. That is what makes a man. Do you live by your own rules, Crane? Or are you merely someone else's puppet? I believe I know the answer.
It's really annoying really quickly. So, quick spoiler warning. I'll put a timestamp which you can skip to if you don't want to hear the spoilers. So, when Raheem or Jay died, I didn't really feel anything. I didn't really feel, connected to them, because we didn't really spend much time with them, especially Jade. We spent very little time with Jade. Raheem was, we spent a bit more time with Raheem, but I do think if we spent more time with Raheem, maybe we could have been, more attached to him and feel more emotions when he died. for me, I didn't feel anything when both of them died. So in this game, there are two cities, two districts, two sectors, whatever you want to call it. There are the slums and there is the old town. So of course you start the game out in the slums. It's basically slums, as the title says. And there's nothing really to write home about. It's just your regular slums. You don't have buildings, few streets, and all that fun stuff. A bit of grass here and there. And towards the mid game, oh no, actually towards the end game, you do get to go to the old town, which is a very nice place. I had a lot of fun being there. You can do a lot more parkour in the old town than in the slums, which I actually enjoy doing because there are so many buildings there. There's not a lot of empty spaces in the old town, to be honest. You can go like really high up and you can jump down, though you might end up dying. Old Town is just a very nice place to be, and I liked it. And one more thing, one of my favorite things in this game is that there was a grappling hook. Yes, and it's really fun. So you can get the grappling hook by leveling up your survivor skill tree, which can be leveled up by, I believe, retrieving supply drops and delivering the disaster relief packages to a quartermaster. And you can get the grappling hook. When you first get it, it's not really that great. It only has 2 charges, but you can upgrade the grappling hook by leveling up your survivor skill tree, and it's a lot of fun to just, use the grappling hook whenever you can, even if it's not parkouring, just, going to random places with the grappling hook. It is really fun. So you have grappling hooks, parkour, zombies, weapons. What else is there? Well, a lot of things. So you can also craft things. You can craft medkits, throwing stars, shields, grappling hooks, weapon upgrades, even whole new weapons. So medkits pretty simple. You don't need a lot. You only need gauze and alcohol. I don't really remember what you need for the rest of them. But what you can do is you can find these weapon blueprints, which you need a weapon to make and some other ingredients, and they can upgrade the weapon. The upgrades range from giving them sort of electricity, so when you hit a zombie, it's going to electrocute zombies all around the zombie you hit. You can get fire damage, you can get poison damage. I don't think there's any ice damage, but if there is, write in the comments. I didn't find anything about that. And you can just really upgrade weapons. There are also these very straightforward, literally just weapon upgrades. You don't need to make anything. You can't even make these upgrades. So the way you get these upgrades is you gotta save a survivor out in Haran, and he will reward you with either cash or a weapon upgrade. And you can use these weapon upgrades to just improve your weapon. It can improve the durability, the damage, and everything in between. But what I found myself doing was I was really just ignoring the crafting. I didn't really bother with it at all. Maybe it's because I was just too lazy, or maybe you don't really need to do it a lot in the game. Yes, you do need to make medkits to survive, especially on the higher difficulties. Now, I was playing normal, but if you're gonna play on the higher difficulties, I imagine you are gonna need a lot more medkits and a lot more crafting. So this game, it took me 5 hours to complete, but then again, as I mentioned before, I was playing on normal. If you play on a harder difficulty, it might take you maybe 6-7 hours to complete it, and 5 hours, it's not that great for a game, but it's okay, it's decent. You could really just, sit down in the afternoon and play through this whole game if you're just gonna do the main story like I did and ignore everything else, like again I did. And I didn't really find myself caring about the main story at all. I just wanted to complete it so I can just free run around Haran, around the slums, around the old town, because I don't think I really was interested in the story because it was so bad. It wasn't the best story, but I mean, it is better than nothing. It was there, but they could have done much better on the story. So what about the parkour? Is the parkour any good? Hell fucking yes, the parkour is amazing. I've never played a first-person parkour game, and this is really fun. It is so fun. Just running, just jumping from rooftop to rooftop, climbing random shit. It is so fun. Like, if you're not gonna do the story at all, I still imagine you would have lots of fun just, doing parkour in the slums or in the old town. I do recommend that you play at least to the old town to see how you're gonna do there, because I'm telling you, the parkour in the slums is not as great as parkour in the old town. So, this game's ending. Did I enjoy the ending? The answer is no. This has been the worst ending that I have ever experienced, ever seen. So the ending is literally just a QTE sequence. You don't even get to fight the main fucking villain of this game. You have to do a QTE sequence. And that is just not how you do an ending. That is like one of the worst ways that you can do an ending. I think you could do it way better by just making it more engaging, like having Rice as an actual enemy, giving him an assault rifle and giving you like a machete or something, and you need to go kill him. Make him a boss like Tahir. Tahir was a fucking fun fight, but Rice, no, he was literally the main villain of the fucking game. And what does he get? He gets a fucking QTE sequence. That is not cool. That is far fucking from cool. You need to do better endings than this. Please fix this shit for Dying Light 2, I swear. And one of the main things that really stood out for me is like the amount of zombies in this game. Like sometimes in certain story missions, there are so many fucking zombies and you can't do anything about them. You just keep dying and dying and dying. Towards the end, there's this one chase sequence where you're running away from volatiles. And I really think that they could have just scrapped that. Like, it just couldn't have been there, and it still wouldn't do anything. That sequence is so useless. It is so pointless. It might as well just not be there. But all of that aside, I did end up enjoying this game. Well, mostly. And with that, I am giving this game a 7 out of 10. I did like the game, but there are some big flaws with it, which I hope they can improve on with Dying Light 2. But this game did have multiplayer, which I did not get around to playing because none of my friends wanted to play it. But if you do get around to buying this game, I do recommend that you try out the multiplayer and see how it goes for you. Because there are two multiplayer modes. There's, your regular co-op, and you can be the monster, which is tons of fun. I did play on that for a bit, and it was really fun. I did enjoy that. But it does take a while to get into a game because not many people are still playing Dying Light, and that's just that. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you like this video, consider subscribing, liking this video, and maybe leaving a comment. I also do have a Patreon, so if you wish to support what I'm doing, the link will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye bye.